So Apex Trader Funding just rolled out some major changes. They've revamped their website, they've launched new products. So in this video, I'm gonna go through all the new changes related to Apex Trader Funding. Hey guys, Apex has rolled out major changes. The first obviously being a new website. You can see they have a nice, clean looking website, and you can see new chapter starts now. And let's go through some of the major changes. So the all new Apex has major changes. So number one, if you look over here on their homepage, front and center, they no longer have any payout denials. They've made it such that the rules already ensure that when you become eligible for a payout, you're not going to run into any issues of them having to review your account and approve and all that stuff. So no more sending videos, no more sending screenshots, no more hoping and praying that your payout gets approved and you're not asked to trade an additional 8 more days. So that's number one. Number two, they've added a new product, which is the end of day drawdown. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. They've removed the MAE rule. And for those of you that don't really remember what this was, so if you were trading a performance account, you could only risk a maximum of 30% of your trailing threshold or your profit balance. So you couldn't, let's say, risk 50% of your trailing threshold or your profit balance. So that has gone away. So that's good. I got multiple violations of this earlier on when I first started trading my performance account, and I didn't really understand the rule. So I'm actually happy to see that go away. Other thing too is that they've changed their consistency for your performance account from 30% to 50%. I actually think this works out in the trader's favor because before, right, when it was the 30% rule, so the 30% rule for consistency, it meant that no day could be larger than 30%. Well, this was a little tight, right? Because let's say you've made $3,000 in profit, no day could be above, let's just say 1,000, right? But 1,000 would be 33%, so slightly below 1,000. So no day could be higher than 1,000 in profitability. By raising it up to 50% in this case, and your profit is still 3,000, no day could be above 1,500. So it actually works in your favor because you could have a really good day and then it doesn't really count against you because they've raised the consistency rule. So I actually love the fact that they've increased the consistency from 30% to 50%. So that's a good thing. Another good thing that they've announced is that payouts now only take 5 days. So you no longer have to trade for like 8 days before you get a payout. As you can see, you now can just, request a payout every 5 days, which I think is really good. You can still have your 20 accounts. It's still 1 day to pass. There's no consistency rules when you're trading your eval, right? And then there's no more profit split while you're kind of like in the simulated funded account. So I think the profit split will come once you switch over to the live. I'm not really quite sure about that. If you come into their new products, right, you can still see they still have the 3 different plans you could do. You could do Rhythmic, Tradeovate, or Wealth Charts. I'm a Tradeovate guy, and I like the 50K account. So right now with the promo that they're running on their site, it's only 19 bucks. And if you want to grab one of these, there's a link in the description that you could use. That I also include my code, so you could then use my coupon code to be able to get this at $19 rather than the $131. Now, you also need to decide if you're going to do intraday trail or the end of day trail. So I'm going to talk about the differences between those two right now. So intraday trail is the one that we've been used to, where the trailing stop automatically trails your maximum high, right? So that's the legacy trailing product that they had, so no major changes. What they have changed, though, are the drawdowns. So remember, on the 50,000, the drawdown used to be 2,500. Now it's only 2,000. They've also changed the maximum number of contracts that you have. right? So before on a 50K account, you could do 10 minis and 100 micros. Now you can only do 6 minis or 60 micros. And remember, they've tightened up on the drawdown to only 2,000. So, because you're not going to be carrying, a lot of risk by not having the 10 contracts if you're trading minis, I think it's somewhat okay to keep it at 2,000. It's only a $500 difference, so I'm not really worried about it. On the account sizes, the bigger sizes are no longer there, at least for now. So you can see the 250 and the 300 are not there. You only have the 25K until the 150. So that's another change over there. Now, if we come to the end of day trail, the way this works, and the big major change is that you still have the same profit target, you still have the same amount of maximum contracts, and you also still have the same drawdown. However, you have a daily loss limit. So if you lose $1,000, which is half of your drawdown, you're automatically stopped from trading for that particular session. So then you'll be able to trade that account tomorrow. So this is a risk management tool that they've implemented on the end of day trail, right? And what happens is that you could go up and down throughout the day. And when you start, for example, your drawdown will be 48,000, right? So you can go up and down, up and down, up and down, and it doesn't really move until the next day. That's when it resets. So let's say if you close the day and you're up $500, but you've made $1,000 while you were trading, your trailing drawdown will only go up by 500, whereas it would have gone up by 1,000 if you're doing the intraday trail. So for some traders that prefer the end of day trail, this could be a good thing because now you have the option to do that. Other firms have this, like Take Profit Trader. So I'm really happy to see Apex also introduce this, because now you can trade not having to worry about watching the intraday trailing stop. You can just know, like, hey, this is my level that I should not hit throughout the day as I'm trading. And then you can take your wins and losses throughout the day. And then when it closes, it resets. So that's a good thing. But remember, this does have a daily loss limit. Now, with regards to the legacy product, so let's say you already have an eval from the legacy products or a performance account from the legacy products. Those do not go away. You can continue trading them, as normal. However, you can no longer buy them. So if you're wanting to buy a new eval, you're going to have to buy the new product. You can still continue trading the legacy products, but going forward, you now have to be buying the new product. So I want to go through the intraday trailing thresholds. So as you can see, now they just have the 4 accounts. We talked about this before. The profit targets didn't change. The maximum drawdowns did change. So you always just want to pay attention to this. I think they've changed for all the accounts. I definitely know it's changed for the 25K and the 50K. Let's talk payouts. So from a payouts perspective, the big change here is that 5 days for you to get your payout, but now they have a maximum number of payouts, 6. So after 6 payouts, I think the conversation will be had as to, do they switch you over to live or not? And I think they'll address it case by case. But what you should also remember, or at least know, is that now they have different maximum payouts by the number of payout that you're at. So if you're trading a 50K account, on your first payout, the maximum you can request is 1,500. Your second payout is 2,000. Your third and fourth, 2,500, and then your fifth and sixth is 3,000. Remember, on the 50K account before, your payout request was only a maximum of 2,000 until you got to your 6th payout. Now, this has obviously changed because now you can request more on the 5th and 6th. And then obviously you request a little bit less on your first. Now, since the end of day drawdown is the new account, I highly recommend that you go read this page. And I'm going to put the link to this page in the description because I think it'll be very, very helpful for you to just understand how the end of day drawdown works. But it's quite simple. And the big thing really that I take is that the threshold is recalculated once a day, right? And once you've hit the whatever balance at the end of the day, that's what they use to move your drawdown. Now, the other thing though to remember is that the threshold is enforced in real time if you hit it. So if you hit your lowest balance that you could hit to fail in real time, the account is closed and liquidated, similar to the intraday trailing drawdown. So guys, lots of big changes with Apex, and I hope that you guys take some time to really just take a look and understand what the new offering is. My humble opinion is that this is actually a little bit simpler than before. I like that they've taken away some of the rules that made things a little bit confusing, or you just have to then think about, okay, how does this affect everything? Like the 30% consistency, like the MAE rule. I love that those are gone. I also like the introduction of the end of day drawdown. So you could have a mixture of accounts. You could have some accounts that are intraday and some accounts that end of day drawdown. But the two big things that I really like is that they kept the 20 accounts maximum. That's still best in industry. So I love Apex for keeping that. And I also love the fact that they've reduced the payout period from 8 trading days to 5 trading days. Obviously, you have to be profitable in those days if you want to get your payout. But I love that they've reduced that window. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts about the changes that Apex has rolled out. Feel free to let me know in the comments, or if you have any questions about this whole change that Apex has just introduced, let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer to the best of my ability. And if you're interested in grabbing an account, the link is in the description, as well as a coupon code for you to use. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a wonderful day.